battery for my feed system. Runs the feed pump. Somebody forgot to put that on the charger. Since I don't have any employees right now, I guess I'm gonna have to take the blame on that. But that's why I carry battery cables with me. Bees need to be fed. So it's September 1st, and in Tennessee, that is my cutoff for even attempting to get foundations drawn. Bees are not going to draw foundations, especially with the dearth that we're in, this terrible drought. So I'm bringing extracted honey supers with me, swapping foundations out for extracted comb. If I left the foundations in over winter, I'd have to pull them out in the spring anyway, so I figure it makes more sense to do it now. Just saves me some work in the spring. And it gives the bees the benefit of having this. Calm down, bees. I know you don't know it, but I am helping you. I'm helping you a lot. That is not nice. That's not nice. Beautiful day to kayak the duck. Miss Cranky there had a hungry belly. What all have you eaten? Gummies and Pringles? Mm-mm. What else did you have?
Nothing.
Reed, you had to have a bag of M&Ms, didn't you?
Yeah.
Look at me, buddy.
Daddy, it looks like we're spinning in circles.
Well, the wind's blowing us a little bit. I'll get both hands back on the paddle in a minute. Now, this isn't what you want to see. We got robbing started. This is the last yard that I'm pulling honey from. This colony's got a queen in the top that I have not found yet. This colony's got a queen in the top that I did find. Put her downstairs. This colony's got a queen in the top box I have not found yet. Don't know about that one yet. Made the mistake of pulling out a couple of frames that had some syrup in them and replacing them with drawn frames, and bees had access to those. I didn't keep them as secure as I should have. So I'm gonna pull out of here and come back in the morning, finish it then. I didn't know they were gonna be this robby today. Probably should have known, but I didn't. Trying to find queens when robbing is going on, they just don't mix. I've got to find that queen. I'm hoping I can depopulate the top a bit and make it easier to find her. And then this one, I just need to find her. But I need to let this situation calm down some. Last yard to pull honey from this year, and that'll be the last hive. I couldn't find the queen in that one, so I will have to go through 4 boxes, frame by frame, brushing the bees off, shaking bees off, pulling honey out manually, condense that thing down, separate the brood, and then I'll be ready for winter. I'll do that when I come back to pull these others, probably 2 days. 2 or 3 maybe. It's too late in the year to be doing this. I'm sure that they've been eating into some of their stores, but that's just how it's been. I've been behind a lot this year. I need to pay attention to this. Looks like I've got enough of a gap there that the bees have access to it. I'll have to tape that up. That's too much. Can't have that gap. Been feeding and doing oxalic acid treatments today. getting a little bit of a fall flow going. Goldenrod's getting started. I don't think we'll get any nectar from that. Got some tall ironweed. It's a beautiful weather day today. We're in high 70s, high 40s for lows tonight, and then it's gonna warm back up next week. Hives are looking pretty good. I'm continuing swapping out undrawn foundations for drawn frames. These actually came out of a dead out. It's a hive that went queenless and then dwindled. So I pulled them down. I'm using their comb to fill in dead spots or empty frames anywhere else. Use up the resource. Hives are looking pretty good. They're starting to pick up some weight. This is a relatively young yard, and they have several hives that are done feeding or heavy enough for winter, and several that need quite a bit more weight. So we've got a ways to go, but I'm hoping I can finish them up by October 1st, especially since I'm thickening the syrup up. We got less water to get out of it. That'll speed them up some. These look good. Season's coming to a close. I could use some more weather like this. That's just a beautiful day to work bees. Well, it's the time of year where I'm reflecting on what's gone well this year, what's gone wrong, what I want to do next year. And one thing I'll mention, and this is not going to be an itemized list, just a collection of random thoughts. I'm going to have some queen age issues start popping up next year, so I need to make an effort to requeen a bunch of my production colonies. I've got came into this season with 100 colonies, and most of those had queens from the previous year. I've not made an effort to requeen any of them, and I have roughly 125, 130 more that are fresh queens. So I need to make an effort to requeen some of these colonies next year, in addition to making nukes and increase and replacements and all that stuff. I think I've done a pretty good job managing my bees this year. I'm glad that I got my splits done in April, because we did have a tremendous amount of beetle pressure again this year. I think I have done a much better job managing the beetles this year. It's not a huge issue right now. I've just got spots here and there, a hive here and there that have a problem, but by and large, operation wide, I'd say I've done a better job. Bees are in pretty good shape. Some of them are thin and some are really heavy, so that's something that I like to breed for. I like productive bees, but I don't like having to emergency feed bees. There's a balance between those two. If bees want to backfill the brood nest too early, they don't have the population to make a good honey crop. And I need bees that brood up pretty early in the spring, because this year the early honey flow was April 20th to May 5th, and then we got rained out. So later bees that were smaller early in the season, they didn't have time to get built up to make an early crop. They just didn't do anything. And then we got to the June flow, and they had plugged, they were putting everything in their brood nest because it was so late in the season. So I missed some flow on those colonies that were a little smaller and wanted to backfill instead of putting it up top and use it. Equipment wise, there's a lot of stuff that I need. There's a lot of boxes and frames that I need, bottom boards, lids, feeders, all that stuff. I'm gonna have to expand there in order to grow my operation some more, and even to service the amount of colonies that I've got next year. With 200 production colonies and allocating 3 honey supers per, That's 600 supers just for the production colonies that I want to have, and I don't have that many available right now, so that's going to have to be addressed. I'm going to move to probably Acorn plastic frames with extra heavy wax. I did the Acorn plastic frames with heavy wax this year, and the bees just drew it out a lot faster. I think the extra heavy wax will go even quicker still, so I'm gonna move to that next year. I really do like the Mann Lake wood frames, but the price difference is it's tipping the balance for me. And there's some pros and cons to the plastic frames, but I think I can deal with the cons and profit from the pros. I've been able to cash flow my growth this year, including all the stuff I've had to buy. You know, I had to pick up an extra 200 boxes and 2,000 frames mid-season because I thought I was going to run out because the flow was doing so good, and then it died after I'd bought all that stuff. I bought a cargo trailer, just a small enclosed trailer with cargo doors, so that I can receive, go pick up, and deliver pallets, which is really handy, even in the rain. So I don't have a box truck, but I can use that cargo trailer sort of like that. I can also take it to festivals and stuff, and I've been able to pay for it debt-free. So kind of shoveling out. Things are a little tight, but getting there. Things are starting to move quicker. Like to increase my honey sales next year, of course. I'd like to increase my production, but I really need to pick up my honey packing. I think there's more ability to scale with low labor input in packing than there is in beekeeping. And I'm actually working on starting a secondary brand so that I can bring in out-of-state honey and try to find markets for that. That'll be sort of an off-season, long-term project. Need to get to I need to get to a stable business in the next year. You know, I'm doing okay right now, but just need to continue growing and get a better asset base under me. That would be hive counts and infrastructure that will help me take care of those hives. One thing I've noticed this year is I've just gotten behind on, you know, every timetable that I thought I would have. I didn't expect to be extracting honey in September. I thought I'd be done in August, but here I am going to extract honey in September. Just everything has taken longer. So that's something I'm going to have to be aware of. I need to reclaim some of my time and prioritize equipment and infrastructure that will let me do more in less time. Got a bunch of winter projects I need to work on. I kind of look at the winter as a break, but this year it's not going to be a break. I've got feed system to get built. It's going to require some tinkering and welding and plumbing. I've got a big resource mating yard that I want to get set up with, you know, hive stands and ground cover for 200 colonies. It's going to take quite a bit of work to get some of these projects knocked out. Mite numbers seem to be okay. They actually seem to be better this year than last. It's almost like I'm superstitious about that. I need to knock on wood or something. I don't want to get hammered and seem like I was tempting fate by boasting, but the information I'm getting seems to be pretty good. Got a few hives that have issues, and I think I'm getting those addressed, but by and large my hives are looking healthy, and I'm addressing the feed issue. So I think we're going to go into winter pretty healthy. I've got some that are on their way out. They're just weak or whatever, weak queens. I don't think they're going to make it through winter. So I'll probably cull down some more or just let the winter take them. I don't have to worry about wax moth in the winter time. So I think I'm gonna come into next spring with my goal of 200 production colonies. I think unless something really unforeseen happens, I think I'll have that pretty comfortably, and that was my goal for next year, to go into the honey flow with 200 production colonies. I think I can do that. I need to start thinking about infrastructure for splits and queen mating nukes and all that stuff. That's going to be a chore. It's going to be a real chore.